The fastest way to get from Kaholo's Portland nightclub to temporary Uncle headquarters was by helicopter. A remote lakeside park was to have been our pickup point. But the battery in my communicator pin had prematurely failed en route. Calls we attempted from roadside phone booths mysteriously never got through. I had no way to signal headquarters that we had made it to the lake. I considered our options while Sia McGuire washed up a bit in the park's restroom. I thought back to views from mountaintop vantage points that had confirmed we were being followed, expertly. So going back wasn't an option. I decided we had little choice but to continue driving east. Sometime after dark, we would pass an Uncle outpost, a dance school that provided cover for a surveillance team watching an Oregon cult. I knew I could replace my communicator at that now empty field headquarters, and I was determined to accomplish this as soon as possible. But to do that, we'd have to stay ahead of our pursuers. As we pulled out of that parking lot, I didn't know that 2 airplane mechanics were loading up their motorcycles just a few miles away. Our paths were destined to cross sometime the next day, and many lives would depend on these riders and their response to the dangerous unexpected.
1, 2, 3. Breaking into Philly and the night's still young. Sweet street shooter gonna have a little fun. Come up on the beauty and stop her on the street. Take you on a tour and I'll give you something sweet. She said no, no, no. And he said yeah, yeah, yeah. And she said no, 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 no. And he said yeah, yeah, yeah.
I never found out whether Neil Reese employed a network of informers or used aircraft surveillance. But however he managed it, as we pulled into the disguised Uncle outpost after many twists and turns, he and Christoph were not far behind us.
Later on the dance floor, he was giving her the eye. A glowing core of energy and she was feeling shy. Move a little closer and ask for a dance. She looked him in the eyes and it doesn't have a chance. She said no, no, no. And he said yeah, yeah, yeah. And she said no, 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 no. And he said yeah, yeah, yeah.
By morning, we were more than halfway to the converted warehouse that was now temporary Uncle Central. I was feeling hungry when, to my surprise, Neil Reese's Mustang appeared in the rearview mirror, like a shark trailing a fishing boat. As we approached 2 parked motorcyclists, Sia McGuire insisted I pull over.
Double barrel carburetors, upper wheels down. Finally talked the honey into cruising on the town. Blue eyes shining just like inner city lights. Suggested heading down to the inner city heights. She said no, no, no. And he said yeah, yeah, yeah. And she said no, 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 no. And he said yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a rodeo.
I didn't like Sia McGuire's plan, but I didn't have a better one. The motorcyclists had somehow agreed in a matter of minutes to risk their lives by slowing our pursuers and giving us time to turn off onto a side road. There, we would plan our next move, an ambush.
Swung around the corner and we got her attention. Night was nearly over, so we found a final question. Come on up to my place and I'll find out what you got. She looked him in the eye and she told him she would not. She said no, no, no. And he said yeah, yeah, yeah. And she said no, 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 no. And he said yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we sped on toward Uncle headquarters with Neil's car keys. I had the illusion that we were finally free of Neil Reese, and he was unsmudged. And as for the motorcyclists, well, I hired them. And as far as I know, they still work for Uncle. Shaken but not stirred by our extended drive through the countryside, we finally reached the turnoff into the warehouse complex in Central Oregon that housed temporary Uncle Central, now all that was left of what had only yesterday been the most important law enforcement network on the planet. We said goodbye to our gallant motorcycle escorts after first extending the career opportunity of a lifetime, one which both of them later gladly accepted. A very ordinary and unguarded doorway led into a dingy and cluttered street-level warehouse, offering no sign at all of the importance of the action taking place on the floor below ground level. As we made our way toward the secret headquarters entrance, I didn't know that Neil's bulldog tenacity and hatred of me had somehow allowed him to overcome his continued defeats and stay on our trail. No one will ever know how he followed us. But follow us, he did. As we ran from Neil, it flashed through my head that our eavesdropping stalker must surely realize that this remote warehouse was now Uncle's global headquarters.
All right, we're gonna Neil.
In the moment of killing Neil, I knew that Kaholo's hand would be forced as soon as he learned of what I'd done. Regardless of his personal feelings, the maintenance of his organization demanded his unique and permanent brand of retribution. I knew I'd receive a clock, and then, most likely, I would die. All through the night, people arrived soaking wet, and it dawned on me that outside the warehouse, a massive rainstorm was pounding the region. It was an inauspicious sign. The forecast for the next 2 days called for more of the same.
Aloha. What's up? It's late. Brother Neil? Are you sure? Oh, damn you, Ronnie, man. I thought we had this covered. Yep. You know it's gotta be done. Arrange another clock. Set this one untraceable to the running man. Tomorrow, 11 o'clock at night. I want to look the other way, but this time, no can. This one hits too close to home. Our world would just turn to dust and blood. No, too many people depend on me. Just do it. Aloha. I don't want to take you down, running man. But I will.
The late afternoon sky was shot through with signs of deteriorating weather as Sia McGuire and I arrived at Chateau Dauphine, the command center run by Anthony and his paramour, Matus Vivienne. With us was Agent Maxine DeVille, who fortunately spoke Polish and would thus be able to interpret some of Antony's notes and correspondence.
Possibly we should speak to our uncle and union representative.
Miss McGuire was extremely composed in the circumstances. The murderer was at the cello. The other psychopath greeted us warmly. I knew I was taking quite a chance because I had no way of knowing for sure whether Antony had ever seen my face. If he had, our mission would be over before it had begun. At precisely the moment of our arrival, the bulk of our team was on the mountainside below, preparing for a surprise assault on the chateau from the south. Out of caution, I had ordered 2 agents, Lydia Sorrell and Drake Dresden, to make a second infiltration attempt, crossing the grounds, hopefully without sounding alarms. I planned to let this second team into the building without arousing suspicion. I wanted them to begin searching for the gas and trying to locate our captured people, while I was dealing with Antony. After what I have to admit was the dinner of a lifetime, Miss McGuire took up the task of selling helicopters to Matus Vivian. Her ability to play the role was, well, admirable, to say the least. On the pretext of calling the helicopter plant with a technical question, I slipped away. Then I began to explore. My job was to disconnect the alarm and open a back door for our other 2 agents. After making my way secretly through the chateau, I was reduced to waiting impatiently for Dresden and Lydia Sorrell to show up, worrying that they might never appear before my hosts began to wonder at my absence. The sound of rain, which I had hoped would cover our footfalls, covered instead the footsteps of the enemy. Matus Vivienne, holding my vitally needed translator hostage in the heart of her lair, was someone I thought it best to obey, if only temporarily. But it was the appearance of the captive Sia McGuire, for whom my developing attachment was already intense, that led me to surrender without a fight. No sooner had we disarmed ourselves than Vivienne revealed a more unpleasant truth. Betrayal carries its own unique shock, and I was feeling it.
So now you know.
I was surprised to see how deeply Matus Vivienne relished the power to command our deaths, and how deftly she gave orders even to Antony, who accommodated her every wish, much as more sane lovers do. But Matus Vivienne was in for a more unpleasant surprise. Agent Sorrell was a master escape artist. Lydia was waiting for a distraction that she expected would come from me. But Sia McGuire stole the initiative, pretending to faint, and thus overthrowing the great Antony. With control of Vivienne, we had an immediate, though temporary, control of the chateau around us. But then I looked around. Antony was gone. It soon became clear that Antony had a contingency plan, as I might have expected. He had rigged the entire facility with high explosives and wired it for destruction. This I learned from Vivienne, whose love for Antony apparently didn't extend to dying for his cause. She told me that a detonator had been set up in an outlying lab building a few hundred feet downhill from the main chateau. After discovering this, I sent my team to work. I wanted them to keep our freedom a secret, if possible, while collecting information and preparing for our attack. But I knew that if I wasn't able to neutralize Antony, nothing they did was going to matter. Look at you. Knife thrower, Olympic horseman, financier, engineer. You could have done so much for the world. Waste.
I know you're going to kill me.
I guess that's another skill you picked up along the way. Reading people well. You're right. I will kill you. If your hand even moves an inch on that dial.
This is not just a detonator. It's a signaling device, and it's already activated. All over the world, my organization is being mobilized. It will find and use Advantage 41, even if it takes decades.
And what organization is that?
I call it Thrush, taken from the name of a little bird that travels long distances. The song of the thrush is considered by many to be the most beautiful in the avian world.
Rest in peace. After the death of Antony, our team secretly secured the chateau's central housing complex and quickly discovered the plans and other data that we would need to rescue our people from the chateau's adjoining, very heavily guarded compound. If our unlikely rescue mission actually succeeded, we would then be able to attempt to free thousands more of our colleagues, leapfrogging with an ever-expanding force of freed agents. We also wanted to neutralize Antony's vast stockpile of nerve gas and prevent what promised to be a far more devastating attack on various international power centers using full-sized helicopters to deliver Antony's nerve gas. Also, using amazing captured technology developed by Antony, we were able to establish a real-time mobile video link with our headquarters and provide them with live visual images of the attack. This way, as soon as information became available in the field, it could be relayed to teams around the world, increasing the chances that our many other imprisoned colleagues could be safely freed. During the night, my infiltration team and I linked up with the main assault force and began moving up the hill toward the chateau's east compound. We had learned that its dungeon was defended on all sides, not only by armed guards, but by Antony's signature fleet of tiny remote-controlled helicopters, each one able to release a gas that could paralyze or kill anyone within a distance of 12 feet. At the last minute, word reached us that our attack on the chateau's main house had been discovered, and the enemy was preparing for our assault.
Collins has blown his cover. Thrush knows we're coming. We need a diversion as usual.
All right, let's both open up Channel D. They'll be monitoring.
Right.
They'll know Bronson's voice very well.
Open Channel D. Boone to Bronson. Report your status.
This is Bronson. We're ready. We're going to be coming in from the north approach. I repeat, the north approach.
Roger that. Green light is given. Go, go, go.
Very good. Bronson out.
Fortunately, the quick thinking of Agents Boone and Smith caused Antony's forces to be diverted to the north slope. But that still left us facing a swarm of helicopters, shrouded in clouds of deadly gas. As a quid pro quo for providing us with a virtual fleet of full-sized helicopters for our many scattered assaults, Sia McGuire was included in our assault team, along with every agent we'd been able to arm and spare from temporary Uncle Central. Agent Dresden and I were the first to encounter Antony's main line of defense. I had already seen 2 men killed by one of these remote-controlled helicopters during the prior night's search for clues at the chateau. Even during the war, I had never seen any death so horrible. Even so, I was unprepared for the speed and agility of the drone helicopters in the field, or for their swarm-like numbers.
Open channel D. Get us the hell out of here.
The defeat of the poison gas defense and our subsequent, almost unopposed freeing of our colleagues in the compound above was the first in a string of bloody but mostly successful rescue operations on 3 continents, in sites as diverse as abandoned mine shafts, converted schools and hospitals, and even refitted tankers at sea. This team coordinated most of the 2-day global rescue effort from our makeshift temporary headquarters. In that short time, more than 7,000 of our people were freed and transported quickly either to medical facilities or to cleared and reclaimed agency command centers. By the end of the 3rd day, it was clear that we had succeeded in killing Antony and in freeing ourselves, but not in capturing or containing his vast and decentralized organization. To my great dismay, the incoming torrent of field reports revealed unmistakably that the empty headquarters affair had released a terrible genie from a bottle, and nothing we had done or could do was ever likely to stuff it back in. I'm staying here at the warehouse. But I need you to do a couple of things for me.
This just arrived for you, sir. Will there be anything else?
No, but ladies, if you could make sure everyone in the building is out within the hour. And sad to say, this means you. I want to see you guys gone too. Thank you for everything.
I don't like it, sir.
About a half hour ago, somebody dropped a package off here at temporary Uncle Central to me. It's a clock wrapped in a page from today's Times. The obituary, no less. It's an alarm clock set to go off at midnight, and to receive it is a death sentence. It's Kaholo's way of saying, I'm not going to have any better luck stopping him than I'd have stopping time. If you're about to tell me not to get too alarmed, don't. It's vital that you guys get Waverly to New York tonight, no matter what the cost. As if that weren't enough, on the same flight to New York, you guys have got to get Matus Vivienne into the hands of our special interrogation squad. I know Waverly has been pressing for my report. You can tell him from me that I'm dictating it into a recorder right now, and since we've been compromised everywhere, I've decided to draft a well-qualified civilian to courier it back. I can hear the boarding call for your flight, Ilya. When you get to New York, get your hands on a communicator and give me a call just to see if I'm still here. And if whoever answers can't give you my code name from the old days, then it isn't me. That's about all I have to say, except good luck. As for the code name, Solo knows it. Yeah. Bye. You guys on your way to San Francisco? Yeah. You're gonna need these. And guys, good work today. Good luck. The two good men left without knowing that their assignments had been contrived by me to get them beyond the reach of Kaholo's impending wrath, which I believed none of us would survive.
You're the last field agent left in the building, right? Okay, if anything goes wrong tonight, these are the secondary key codes. They're going to keep Uncle going. Start with Portland and work from there. And for goodness sakes, be careful. The wolves are out tonight. Good luck.
What do you do when you're in love and you know your own death is imminent? Well, if you're me, you dig deep and pour your heart into creating the message of a lifetime.
I say, love, tell me everything. Speak of shimmering, tell me what they're whispering. She says, love, I see other skies. Watch through other eyes. I see through the wall. I am love and you are love, and we are blending. Endless love for you. There's nothing else involved. We don't win or lose. Something comes after every ending. Everything you do matters not at all when you're slipping through the wall.
As the story poured out, I noticed that Sia McGuire hadn't yet shown up to pick up the document package that she'd soon be couriering to Washington. Her arrival would bring me my most painful goodbye, but it would be a relief to get her out of harm's way before the sounding of the fatal alarm.
It's the same love coming back around. It's the same love nightly traveling. It's the same love waiting to be found. It's the change of life unraveling. I say, love, tell me everything. Give me glimmerings of what you're remembering. She says, love, I see endlessly, and you still shine for me as I slip through the wall. I am loved as you are loved, forever blending in this love for you with nothing to resolve. We don't win or lose, time to abandon all pretending. Soon it will be you, it won't be long at all. You'll be slipping through the wall.
I hope this reaches you in time to be of some use. This is Agent Rusty Collins, the running man. Report ends.
Put the gun down and I let her go. Put it down.
You've got to get out of here.
You gotta get out of here.
I'm not leaving, not with him.
The dossier and the recordings have got to get to New York. maneuvering. Bad as it looks. I'll meet you. Go. Take the back way out.
Once upon a time, a law enforcement agent facing certain death was granted the most last minute of reprieves. This was only one in a series of unexpected mercies, not least of which were those bestowed by both man and nature in 1962, when 2 aircraft were shot down on the same day and sank beneath the Caribbean Sea. In the interval between then and now, I myself had granted a number of reprieves, and perhaps in return, Kaholo's fist flashed past my face and smashed into the hard concrete floor. As he did this, I realized that my career with Uncle was over. In fact, I trusted Kaholo more than Uncle to do the right thing when it came to Advantage 41. Kaholo, in sparing me, knowingly threw away the organization he had spent his life creating. It couldn't survive the damage to his reputation caused by his failure to avenge Neil and fulfill the promise of that final clock. Financed by the lovely Sia McGuire, we 3 together created a concealed school dedicated to promoting a profound capacity within carefully chosen apprentices to learn directly from the experience of others without the benefit of any drug. Under the cover of this, we covertly guarded the secrets of Advantage 41, a formula which lay in a canister on the bottom of the sea, and a secret ingredient that grew on a nearby tropical island. Of the 2 other characters in this story who faced death at the hands of others and were unexpectedly spared, one, Akaula Kaholo, retired from smuggling and thrived in association with us until he died in 1980. He was killed while undertaking a daring rescue at sea, a rescue of 3 young women abducted by a slavery ring. His bones, like the remains of Advantage 41, lie somewhere on the ocean floor. In my last conversation with Kaholo, he had told me that he dreamed frequently of a far future moment when some intrepid team would rediscover the wreck of his lost plane and recover the canister I had placed in it. That dream had always filled him with both excitement and dread. The last of the 3 to be spared was you. Your name at birth was Joelle Collier, and you're the daughter of Doctors James and Lorraine, Advantage 41's inspired creators. But as I speak these words, in 1992, you're known to the world by the name Kaholo created for you, Monica McMillan, child prodigy, creator of great art and advanced technologies, and philanthropist. By the time you hear these words, I expect that you're probably in your 50s. On Akutan Island, Kaholo and I realized that you would always live under the threat of harm from Anthony or his people. You would need the benefits of your parents' drug more than either of us, and so you were injected with it. We had to withhold from you the truth of your past, for your own protection, and because we wanted to be absolutely certain of the quality of your character in the face of such power. We did leave a trail of riddles hidden in your path. Only a person with your extreme advantages would be able to pursue and decipher them. Pivotal details will have come to light only after our deaths, when you would be at the height of your powers and a new guardian of the secret would be needed. These clues will now have led you to the rediscovery of the wreck of Kaholo's plane and the drug. You will have gained access, at last, to the story of your own origin. It will now be up to you to decide whether Advantage 41 can be safely delivered to the human world in your era, and if so, how?
Don't look so glum, gentlemen, and stop glowering at each other. Good guy, bad guy. You're the best your organizations have to offer, but you're two sides of the same coin. You're too unselfish to be great. And you, sir, are the epitome of selfishness. I lured you here so we could meet in the middle. We have work to do. We're going to be a team for a very long time. From now on, you're going to devote yourselves to meeting my needs. And what I need is a better world. I see you don't believe me. But you will. I have many extraordinary capacities, but I'm particularly good at making people love. It's not an immoral intrusion. The world could always use more love. I'm going to make you love me and follow me, and that's going to change everything.
You to love me with all your heart. I need some affectionate boo to play a crucial part. Send money, it's better than tears when sympathy comes. This honey has sensitive ears, so speak nice to me, drop the ball. What about my needs? What can you do about my needs? 'Cause it's all about my needs, and I need you. It's all about what I sees, you know it's true. So come and sit beside me, 'cause I need you tonight. I need you to guide me, to keep me true, and hold me in the back of your mind. Need someone to fight me sensitive ears. So speak nice to me, don't drop the ball. What about my needs? What can you do about my needs? 'Cause it's all about my needs and I need you. You're just a pawn to my greed that I see through. You have to come when I plead, and I need you tonight.
She walks down the beach, smiling at all the people she meets, with a bucket and fishing pole in her hand. Finds a TV just lying there, where it's washed up onto the sand. All the islanders sing as she brings it to the headman. You've got a large television set, Juanita. You've got a large television set, Juanita. Ecstasy, banana, bongo, telephone, cabana, Congo. Ecstasy, banana, bongo, telephone, cabana, Congo. So the headman tells her, set it up over there in the middle of the village. It's not long till the planes come. She dances in the tourist shows, and the people of the island just gather to watch her TV. They soon forget those great island dances. There's so much out there to see. They got shows from South America and Fiji. You've got a large television set, Juanita. You've got a large television set, Juanita. Juanita walks alone on the beach. She knows what the pictures on the TV teach. Someday the waterfront will look like L.A. Streets full of tourists will say, you've got a large television set, Juanita. You've got a large television set, Juanita. You've got a large television set, Juanita. Ha! Now the islanders can't just say, I've never seen a television set before. It's gotta be, you've got a large television set. That's the second biggest television set I've ever seen. But Juanita never watches anyway. She spends all her time with Cassie and Charisse and Shelley, playing with the Anamoana bird at the beach. Ooh, 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 singing by the blue lagoon. Singing by the blue lagoon now. Singing by the blue lagoon. Singing by the blue lagoon now. Singing by the blue lagoon. Singing by the blue lagoon. Ha!
This has been a Two Chairs production.
Let's see which one I actually managed to get charged up.
We're rolling.
Black rain, thunderball. She named my boat, but my sails won't fly, my hull won't float. So I roll like a ghost across wide, dangerous seas. I pass through rivers and shivers and slivers of ice. Never a lifeline, never a beach. Black rain.
I hear him coming. We better get going.
We'll sail